Hello, it's Natasha at Craft Tour with me. So happy to see you here. We'll make 2 holiday cards today from one die cut. I have these 2 dies from Memory Box, which I absolutely love. They're not very expensive, but you can use them in so many ways. Here are some cards I've made with these dies. They're perfect for quick and beautiful projects, for diorama cards, for example. So, by the way, stay tuned for a tutorial on how to make such dimensional cards soon. So today I'll be using a country landscape die. I die cut it from a piece of Nina Solo white cardstock. And then I use a square die and a circle die to cut this landscape into 2 pieces. I also prepared 2 masks from masking paper using the same shape dies. So first, let's make a square, a card with a square shape. I take a white card base, I adhere the mask, and let's do some ink blending. I also use some sticky notes to protect my card base, but as you will see in a minute, it won't help. So I'm using Distress Inks and Life-Changing Blender brush from Picket Fence Studios. These are great brushes with very soft bristles. It's the first time I'm using this size brush, so I saturate it with ink a bit and then start blending. I don't clean it when going from color to color. You see the colors on screen, the colors I use. I just swipe it a few times against a piece of scrap paper and that's it. And by the way, do you see the lid on my card base, the lid from Distress Ink? So that's a mistake, and you will see in a second why. So once I'm happy with the blending, I add some water to reactivate the ink and remove some of it with a paper towel, so to add some texture and interest to our blended sky. Now I notice smudges from the ink pad lids, but it's okay, no problem. It's easy to fix. So I remove the mask and I just cut the front panel off, and I will adhere it onto another cut base. That's it. So I adhere the die cut onto foam squares, and now it's time to add a sentiment. I'm using Snow Globe sentiments from My Favorite Things. I stamp the sentiment in different colors on scrap piece to see which color I like best, and I go for black in the end. I also added off-screen a few snowflakes with a white gel pen. And our first card is ready. For the second card, I'm using craft cardstock, and again I adhere the mask and I cover the rest of the panel with sticky notes to make sure I don't have splatters where I don't need them, because yes, we are adding splatters, yay! I'm doing this with Picket Fence Distress Paint. I add a bit of water to thin it down so I don't have big blobs of paint on my cardstock. I go to town with flicking because I want to make sure that the circle shape will actually look like a circle, but after I dry it with my heat gun, the splatters seem a bit too pale, so I add more, this time with Copic Opaque White. I remove the mask and it doesn't look much now, does it? But don't worry, it will be fine. I clean my Tim Holtz glass mat with hand sanitizer. I love this bad boy. The mat, that is, not Tim Holtz or hand sanitizer. Now look, once we adhere the die cut, our weird splatters turn into a circle. So I adhere the die cut onto foam squares again, and for the sentiment, I'm using the same set from My Favorite Things, and I decided to add a pop of color. So I heat embossed the sentiment on some red cardstock. So I'm thinking where to put it. Below the circle seems a bit too low, so I chose another location, and I'm using a template which actually follows the rule of thirds, and I have a video coming soon to my channel about the rule of thirds in crafting, in case you're interested. So I adhere the sentiment onto foam squares, and that's it. Our 2 very clean and simple cards are ready, my favorite kind of cards, if you know me. So here are some close-up photos, and I really like the dimension on these simple cards and how delicate and beautiful these die cuts are. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'll be happy if you subscribe to my channel for more inspiration. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to chat with you. In the end, on screen, you will see links to a couple more videos you might be interested in. Thanks again. Have a great day and happy crafting. Bye.